I keep saying it, and I'll say it again, the biggest bummer about our coronavirus response is not the unprecedented government power grabs. The biggest bummer is the huge portion of the citizenry helping to shovel that power to them. Government gonna government. That's the nature of the state. The fist is always gonna clench a little tighter. The trend is always toward more restriction and control. And the only check on that trend is a free people who value and prioritize their rights and exercise them vigorously when they're challenged or threatened. So we ought to think very carefully about just how easily and quickly we'll abandon that responsibility. But instead of joining together to defend our rights in that power tug of war, huge portions of our citizenry have not only dropped the rope entirely, they're gleefully tugging on the government's side. They chastise us for failing to obey the state's whim of the day.
Your ass is grass. Supposed to be sheltered in place. You're looking out for those cops.
They call 911 for the supposed emergency of social distancing violations. They lobby to shut down their local businesses and organizations. Instead of citizen solidarity for the preservation of our rights, we have citizen spies who trust the government more than they trust their own neighbors, a totally backward arrangement. When you trust the government above all else, you will betray all else. That backward prioritization will have you betraying the relationships that actually matter most. Friends will betray friends. Family will betray family. Or in the case of today's story, teachers will betray students. The clip from New Jersey went viral earlier in the week. I wish I was even surprised by the headlines anymore. Per the Trentonian, Hamilton teacher caught on tape telling students she hopes they die of coronavirus. A group of teens was playing football in a park at a former school in Hamilton Township when one of their high school teachers out walking her dog confronted them with these irrational ravings. Thankfully, one of the kids started recording on his phone.
Park closed. You will get arrested if the cops come.
Wait, can we go over there?
Is that crazy enough for you?
Can we go over there?
Park closed. The whole area. Get it through your thick head. You are the reason we are in this situation. You are the problem, not the solution. Go ahead, keep recording. Who are you going to show it to? Post me on social media. You're the idiot doing the wrong thing. I'm just trying to save your ass and save your life. But die, okay? I hope both of you get the coronavirus. I hope you both die a long, painful death.
Cool.
What a shame, a real missed learning opportunity. Get the kids to brush up on their algebra. If the incubation period is 10 days with an R0 infection rate of 3.4, at what time will I enjoy your long, painful corona deaths? She is a math teacher after all, according to her school district profile. Stay well during this time of remote learning, she says, unless you recreate outside differently from her, in which case, of course, die. It was a missed learning opportunity on the science front, too. I'm curious, Teach, on what scientific basis do you say that kids playing at the park are causing coronapocalypse? Because recent studies conclude kids likely don't play a significant role in spreading the virus to adults, let alone outside. Studies show almost zero known outdoor transmissions. Yes, this study is from China, so take it with a grain of salt, but other researchers also have similar findings, including those in the UK and Australia. All this on top of sunlight being literally the best disinfectant, as US research shows. The virus does not survive long in the sun. And just the common sense obvious question, if playing in the park is a definitive spreader of coronavirus, how is walking your dog definitively safe? How is she not at least equally the reason we're in this situation with the virus? Not to mention actually being the reason we're in this situation with government overreach, totally devaluing each other's rights and screeching for the state to provide us some illusion of safety at the expense of everything else important. The school district superintendent says he is aware of the video and is investigating. This Trentonian reporting as of last weekend says it's unclear whether the teacher will face disciplinary action. And yeah, I know process is important, and I know there are a lot of union rules with this sort of thing, but we're now a week out with no results of an investigation that should take exactly 2 questions and 15 seconds to complete. Okay, is that lady a teacher at this school? Check. And did she wish death upon students? Check. Okay, investigation complete. She's fired. Just in case the video isn't enough evidence, though, the Trentonian did a little more digging and reports, quote, wishing infection and death upon people who aren't following social distancing guidelines appears to be the teacher's MO. On Facebook, she goes by a nickname, and the paper confirms on April 6th, she posted the following, quote, we are surrounded by idiots, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 exclamation points. So you know she's very serious. We rode our bikes to Cooser Park this afternoon, and we saw a younger couple with their 2 or 3-year-old daughter undoing the caution tape around the jungle gym so she could slide. I totally called them out on it, wished illness on them, and commented that it was scary to even think that they were parents. Okay, well, if the whole point of your crusade is to stop the spread of illness, why are you wishing for the spread of illness? I'm just trying to save your ass by hoping your ass dies? It's so contradictory and illogical. In any other context, I'd say this story is probably made up like most of its kind on social media. But given the video of her going after the students, she probably actually did do this to these parents as well. The antics of this teacher aren't totally without educational value, though, albeit probably accidental. Her outburst does remind us of the fundamental philosophical question our country must consider as we navigate the rest of this challenge and the new challenges the future will bring us later. It's the same question a protester asked on a sign at the March for Our Lives rally in the context of gun rights. Is freedom more important than safety? She asks rhetorically, as though it's a difficult question to answer or as though one would change his mind upon serious contemplation, but the answer is perfectly simple. Is freedom more important than safety? Yes. Yes, it is. And you'll notice she puts freedom in scare quotes, implying it's some false hope or an illusion. Again, just like placing your loyalty in the state over your friends and your neighbors, this is exactly backward. Safety is what actually belongs in the scare quotes because risk and danger are inherent to the world. All you can do is protect the rights of the individual to navigate that danger for himself. You can't erase freedom to achieve safety because doing so doesn't erase the danger inherent to the world. It just makes the individual less prepared to deal with it. And don't take my word for it theoretically. Observe it historically. The world's greatest atrocities have been committed by curtailing human freedom according to some government central plan for safety, a central plan for saving everyone's ass, as she put it. But it never works out that way because when you sacrifice freedom for safety, you get neither. If the iron fists of history haven't been able to achieve it, I'm not betting on some hysterical death wishes screeched from the sidewalk. Thanks as always for listening and for supporting this channel. Always appreciate that thoughtful discussion down below and especially over on Twitter. That is at ML Christiansen. You're always welcome to coming out and chatting my live streams. Those are linked down in the description. Looking forward to it. Goodbye.